Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to STEMwithKieno.com. I'm Kieno Thomas, and today I am doing a video for. I'm honored to be doing a video for a very old friend of mine, by the name of Ron. Ron is doing his recurrency. He's getting current back into the Cessna 172, and anybody that has been following me for a while, they would know that this is the first airplane or first type of airplane that I've ever flown. I was about 15 years old when I first experienced the Cessna 172. Now this is a slightly different version. This is uh, the Cessna one. It is a Cessna 172, but this is the SP model. Okay, it's commonly referred to as the Skyhawk. All right, so the Cessna 172 Skyhawk is what Ron's going to be getting checked out in. And like I said, I'm really honored to be doing this video for you, Ron. So, and even if you're flying out of Princeton Airport, you can use this video or the information in this video to just help you supplement your flight training. All right, so let's see here. A couple things. Princeton Airport is in Princeton, New Jersey. It is the airport identifier is 39 November. Okay, that is the airport identifier. Here we can see runways 28 and runways 10 or 10, I should say. And our aircraft is currently located right about here on the asphalt. And this is Route 206, slightly to the east of the airport. And Burger King is over here and stuff like that. I know that because a lot of times we would go eat Burger King after we go flying. And also, I guess I should give a shout out. A shout out. I sound like a radio host. Give a shout out to Captain Sam Williamson, Captain Derek Henry, Captain Jesse Bell, Captain Cynthia Hall, and wow, if I forgot your names, please forgive me. It's really been a long time, but the Civil Air Patrol is how I got started in the aviation. I was a Civil Air Patrol cadet, and I think it's one of America's best kept secrets for kids that are interested in aviation or think that they may want to become pilots. Okay, so we have the panel, and this is exactly how the panel would look like in the Cessna 172. So let me just take some time out and I want to make sure that I have the um, checklist up and available when we're ready to get into it. So bear with me for 1 second, and we will get the checklist up in desktop. All right, and all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, I know where to find it, guys. Bear with me. We're almost there. And it'll just be a little bit longer. And there we go. 172 SP checklist. Okay, so we have the checklist up. All right. So before, I just wanted to make sure I had that handy. So we do have the checklist up. And let's go to skyvector.com. All right. Skyvector.com, let's give a shout out to them. Skyvector Aeronautical Charts. These are online aeronautical charts that you can use. And feel free to make sure you register with these guys. And there's a wealth of information that they have here to supplement your flight training. This is the New York sectional. All right, we know this is the New York sectional because it is going to be labeled. My computer's running a little slow for some reason, or maybe I just zoomed in too much. Alright, here we go. It's coming, guys. It's like, hurry up. Okay, so we know this is the New York sectional. We have a north side and a south side. So this is the north side that we're working with. The arrow points to the north. Most sectionals have the two parts, the north and the south side. If we zoom in, we could see the effective area that the New York sectional covers of the contiguous United States. I like using that word. It's always in the Federal Aviation Regulations. The contiguous United States. Um, Here we go. This is the 97th edition. Its effective date and the termination date. So we are within the parameters of the effective date. Do not use charts that are out of date, please. It also tells you that changes are available every 56 days in the chart supplement, which we will be getting into. And there's a wealth of information, but if you're flying in a particular area, like say if we were in Northern California, we would use the Klamath Falls and San Francisco sectionals. If we were in the San Antonio area, we would use the San Antonio sectional. So we're using the New York sectional, which covers the northern portion of New Jersey, and we are in Princeton, New Jersey, but here's the effective date. All right, some things that we will get into in a little bit is the actual legend. What all these symbols mean. That's what the legend just tells you, like the legend on any map. It tells you what the symbols mean. So we're going to come on back over, and let's see. Okay, there's the New York class Bravo, Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia major airports. We have Philly down there at the bottom. So Princeton Airport is in between the New York class Bravo, and I know this is class Bravo because of the blue, and the Philadelphia class Bravo airspace. There's Trenton Mercer Airport. I was a flight instructor there for several years. Long time ago, many moons ago. So as we zoom in, let's center this information. All right, we can see that this is Princeton Airport. The airport identifier is 39 November. It is positioned 128 feet above sea level. Now that star L concerns the lighting. We'll talk about this. The 3.5 tells us that we have 3,500 feet of runway available. And this dotted C next to the frequency is telling us that this is the common traffic advisory frequency. It is a reddish or magenta colored airport, and we have a star, and we'll go to the legend and we'll identify what that star means. And just like I told you guys, Highway 206 is running by the airport. All right, and we can see that by this gray line. We can see the Highway 206 there, and the city of Princeton, or the town, yeah, the city Princeton, the city of Princeton is right there. And what these yellow images mean is that you will see that this area is well lit and it looks like this shape for navigation purposes. Okay. We also have the Delaware River running along here, a little bit west of Trenton Mercer Airport. This dashed line is Trenton Mercer Airport's Class Delta airspace. All right. What else did I want to point out? We also have a RP and a star there, and we'll identify what that means. So Princeton Airport identifier is 39 November, field elevation, lighting, 3,500 feet, and the common traffic advisory frequency, and we fly a right-hand traffic pattern. The standard is a left-hand traffic pattern, and I'll discuss that in a minute, but you don't see RP here at Central Jersey Regional Airport. You don't see a RP here in Doylestown. So the map or the chart is actually telling you the pattern. If you don't see anything, then you are to automatically assume that it is a left-hand traffic pattern that you will be conducting when doing, say, stop and go, touch and go operations, or traffic pattern entry. Okay, that was a mouthful, right, guys? Okay, moving right along. Okay, so what we have, Ron, they used to call it an Airport Facility Directory, or AFD. Now we have what we call our U.S. chart supplements, and let me just come up, pull up the pictures here. Oh, who's that cute-looking guy there? I should say handsome, not cute. All right, it's asking me to open this up in a certain. All right, I didn't want to do that, so PNG should just open up. It's asking me to. Okay, so photos. Okay, bang. Okay, so it used to be a green colored book like this, and it would say Airport Facility Directory. Now it says Chart Supplement Northeast U.S. And what you will see are the states that this particular chart supplement covers, just like the Airport Facility used to do, but we don't call it an airport facility directory anymore. It is a chart supplement US. All right. So when you open it up, the part where you will go to is uh, 39 November, which is on page 173. And this will tell you about the services, nav aids, everything concerning this airport. The information is here. Okay, so again, Princeton Airport, the airport identifier, 39 November. 3N means that this airport is positioned 3 miles north of the city, and we have the conversions for time. We have the latitude and longitude coordinates here, 128 feet. The traffic pattern altitude is about, it's 1,200 feet, which will position you 1,075 feet above sea level. 1,200, just want to, no, you'd be 1,200 above sea level. Okay, sorry about that. It has your runways. Now, it said 3,500, but 3,499 actually. And the airport is 75 feet wide. It's asphalt. Medium intensity runway lighting exists on 1028. All right, and so you'll have your fuel. They have 100 low lead and Jet A. Very, very small jets fly into this airport. Lighting, activate, medium intensity runway lighting, 10N28. Both have runway end identifier lights. This is attended, see, 1300 to dusk, unattended Christmas Day and New Year. So all the information you would need. They have the airport manager's number, the common traffic advisory frequency, or Unicom. So if I'm landing at this airport, maybe with passengers, I could make sure like a rental car is in position when we land for the passengers. Maybe if we're doing an organ during the trips, I can call ahead when I'm maybe up in air cruising, maybe about, I don't know, 50 miles out, and just letting, you know, the crew, the ambulance crew know if we're bringing organs in there for them to Princeton Hospital. Hey, we'll be on the ground in, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever your ETA is, to update them. New York approach and departure controls 132.8. Williamsport IPT is probably the flight service station where you would pick up your NOTAMs from. NOTAMs just mean notices to airmen. Nav aids around. We have a low volume VOR, the Yardley VOR on 108.2. We'll go back to skyvector.com and we'll look up that information. And it says VORs unusable, and I'll give you the radials that they're unusable on. DME unusable. So yeah, all right. So all this, and then they give you a little what they call an aerodrome sketch. Okay, so we have trees out here to the out here, well, a little bit on this side of runway 10 and 28. So the hangars and everything is lighted here. We have the rotating beacon here, and what else? You see the highway, and you should see buildings there. All right. So that is pretty much all the information. We'll come on back to skyvector.com and look at some of the information here. So here's Princeton Airport. This is the actual airport. We made reference to Yardley VOR, which is right there. Williamsport Flight Service Station is the flight service station that it's their area. Millville, if we went north a little bit, Millville will be covering that. We also have Robbinsville, Millville Flight Service Station is there. We have the frequencies here, and I don't know, maybe later on what we'll do is I don't know, maybe VOR to VOR and then back to Princeton. Maybe I'll do a video like that. Okay, so that is pretty much like the briefing. We're gonna just go through some startup procedures, and maybe we'll take off and fly directly to Yardley VOR, and the frequency is 108.2 there, and we can see the Morse code there. So maybe that might be something we might do. Or I'm thinking, okay, Princeton is here. If we fly to Yardley, we'll see Trenton Mercer Airport. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll fly we'll depart the airport. We'll fly directly to Yardley VOR. Our outstanding terrain features should be the Delaware River and Trenton Mercer Airport. We'll stay at about 2,000 feet so we can get a nice, good visual contact, 108.2, and then we'll fly back to Princeton, and we should be like on the 060 radial, and we should pick up Princeton. So yeah, maybe we'll do that in this video tutorial. And so Princeton is there, direct Yardley, and then back to Princeton. And we should pick up Trenton Mercer Airport and the Delaware River in this simulation. So Ron, I hope you like the simulation. This is the, I guess, the briefing and everything. And I will not go over the exterior inspection, but we'll actually, I guess we'll do that because maybe we'll hook up and fly together one day when you get everything squared away. But I hope you like this video, bud, and I will talk to you soon. As I get this video published, I'll get it over to you. Thanks for watching, everybody, all my subscribers. And if you have a problem with airport planning or some of the considerations or anything that you need to take into account as a pilot in command, please feel free to email me. Or just come on to my website at stemwithkieno.com and you can look up the contact information. So that's really about it, and we're going to go to the simulator. All right, so here we are here in the simulator, and that's us, and that's Ron in there, ready to go. We got to get that propeller started. All right, so we'll go through the before engine start checklist. All right, so we're sitting in the aircraft, and we want to make sure that after we do our walk around inspection, making sure that everything, wrong angle, outside lock spot, there we go. So after we make sure that our airplane is good to go, we've done our walk around inspection, and that's cool. The electricity is off and the flaps won't move. I was trying to see if I could get them to move. All right. So, all right, seats, seat belts, and shoulder harnesses are adjust fasten. Brakes test and set. All right, so let's get on in here. All right, and these are our brakes down here at the foot pedals. Okay, so we test and set our brakes. Our parking brake. Okay, that is our parking brake. We have that set. Ron, I don't know if you saw it move, but I will disengage it and re-engage it. Okay, so our parking brake is set. All right, fuel selector valve, both. We look down, the fuel selector valve can be in a couple positions here. All right, let's zoom in. All right, and it is in both. It's kind of hard to see because the selector is covered, but that is the both position. So we could have it siphoning off of the left tank, the right tank, or in the both position. I'm trying to get it back. Okay, so that is the both position. All right. All right, we have fuel on to pull. All right, so fuel off. Okay, so we'll make sure that's good to go. Fuel shutoff valve is in. So this is the fuel shutoff valve. We make sure that is in, and it is placarded. Fuel on, pull off. So we will pull this to cut that off. So we need that in. Circuit breakers check in. Let me come on down to the cockpit light switches. Okay. So basically what we would do is, let's see if we can get that. We would run our fingers across these. We would just touch them, push them in, and if they happen to pop out, then that would indicate that there is something wrong with that circuit possibly. So a good indication is rubbing our fingers across here, and if they don't pop out, then we're good to go. Okay. Circuit breakers are checked in. Beacon on. All right. So normally, if the aircraft's off, it will be in the on position. All right, so it's in the off position right now. We will flip it up into the on position. The reason why we do this is because if people are walking around the aircraft with hearing protection, when we start when we turn our master switch on, this red beacon is going to be lit. Okay, and if you have hearing protection in, you may not hear us say clear prop. All right, so at this point, a door would be open, or we would open a window and we would yell out clear prop. So anybody walking around the aircraft without hearing protection can hear that we're about to start a propeller and to stay away from it. And if you have hearing protection, then you will see this red beacon. Even though you can't audibly hear us say clear prop, you can visually see it if I had earmuffs on for hearing protection. All right, avionics switch off. So let's come on back to the, sorry. All right, so our avionics switch is here. This is our avionics master. It is in the off position. All right, this will be the on. This is the off position. All right, master switch on. This is the master switch. Bang, bang. All right, and I moved those flaps before I started the power. All right, and the flaps actually extended. So let's get those back up. Ready? And what else did I want to cover? All right, let's stick to the checklist. All right, so the master switch is on. Throttle, we want about a 1/4 inch open. So the throttle is out, and you really can't see it that well. But what we'll do is we'll just gently push it in just a little bit. All right, and let's see what the percentage is. And 23, that's good. I'm cool with that. All right, so the throttle is open. Mixture is in the idle cutoff position. It's all the way out. All right. Auxiliary pump on. All right. And mixture rich. All right. Now, when we enrich in the mixture, this yoke is probably covering it. So let's take a look now. We turn the yoke so we can kind of see fuel flow. Okay. So hopefully the simulation will simulate this proper indication, but when we push the mixture in, the fuel flow should come up. You see it at 0 right now. So when we push the mixture up, and we'll have to move the yoke out of the way, we should see an indication. All right, so, all right, mixture idle cutoff, auxiliary pump on, mixture rich. And we should see about 3 to 5 gallons per hour in our indication. So we'll come over to the mixture, we'll push that all the way in, and let's see what that gauge does. All right, you can see that it rose a little bit. It's not resting on the 0 like it was. So that is awesome that the simulation is simulating that. All right, auxiliary pump off. Okay, prop area clear. All right, so at this point what you would do is you would actually, just look around your propeller area. Okay, all right, just make sure nobody's messing around out there walking close by, and if anybody is walking nearby, you tilt your head out the door or open the window and say clear prop. Okay, anybody in aviation, they knows when they hear clear prop that a propeller is about to start. All right. Another thing is our beacon was put in the on position. All right. To let, like I told you, you can see that it's lit. And what this is doing is letting people know with hearing protection, hey, a propeller's about to start on that particular aircraft with the rotating beacon. All right. And after we clear, what's going to happen is, here's the procedure. We're going to bring the ignition switch to start. Let's close the door first. Keep the bugs out. All right. And all right, let's get a little eyeball down here. And okay, you're not playing nice. There we go. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. The key could be in the off, right, left, both, or start position. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn to the start position. And then when we get that propeller, when it gets to cranking on its own without the ignition, and what we're going to do is let it go. So we're going to turn the key into the start position. When the propeller moves on its own, we are going to, there we go, we let it go. Oh, that was interesting. Okay. Okay. So, propeller's going. And Ron's looking good in there with his hat on. He has a fully functional engine. Alright. Alright, and what we do is we bring the throttle back to idle. Right. And, okay. The mixture is rich, and we want to idle the RPM at about 1,000. So we'll come here, you can see the RPMs there, and we're actually going to bring that throttle up. Here's the throttle, and we're going to push it in until we get about 1,000 on the indication. And we're about there. This is push button throttle, so on the simulator, so that's good enough for me. But we will run it at 1,000. Oil pressure, we'll check. The oil pressure is coming up into the green. That is a good indication. And mixture, this is lean max. And normally the flaps will be down because we've had them down for the pre-flight inspection. We didn't do that part in the video. So normally the flaps will be in this position after engine start. So after we check our oil pressure, mixture, lean max, and the flaps, we will retract. Get those babies on. Okay. So now, we're Princeton Airport. This is a non-towered airport, so we really don't need permission to move about the airport. But it is just always a wise practice to just kind of communicate. Like I said, what was the sorry guys, let's come on back to Sky Vector. Alright, so our common traffic advisory frequency is 122.725. It probably is already set, but we'll just check it. I could have just went to radio stack. 122.725. So we will go to our COM1, and we want 122, and we'll roll it down to 72, but that actually represents 725 when we have 72, and we'll swap that. And so this is the active frequency, 122.725. This was actually New York approach, if you guys were paying attention when I was going through the little briefing there. And let's see, we would want our transponder on standby for right now. 1200 is the code for VFR, and we're not going to be using the ADF, but we are going to be using nav 1, which is 108.2. So let's go ahead and get that squared away. We might as well do that right now for housekeeping. 108.2, and we'll swap that. 108.2. And what we will do, we will be heading westbound. So we'll go ahead and be on 1. We will rotate that knob, and I'm sorry about all this bouncing around, guys. There we go. So we will rotate this. We'll pretty much be on a westerly heading. So we will rotate the Omni bearing selector until it's about a westerly heading. We may or may not be picking up Pirelli VOR, but we will identify. So we'll be on about a westerly heading when we're going there, because actually 24 actually something like 240, because to fly back to Princeton we're going to have to fly about 060 degrees. So 240. Oh, look at that puppy. It's kind of centered up a little bit. Alright, so that was good eyeballing on the chart. So again, we'll probably have a push-to-talk system, and everybody is listening on 122.725 at this airport right now. Anybody that is flying here. And so I'll say Princeton traffic. November 176 Charlie Mike is taxiing from the ramp area to the active runway 28, Princeton traffic. So I've said Princeton traffic twice because we're at a non-towered airport. So what we'll do is we'll throttle up a little bit and we'll touch the brakes. Alright? And bring the throttle back. Now, I know that was kind of fast, so I'll do it again. We advance the throttle, look at the asphalt and the wind spar. See it move, touch the brakes. So you brought the plane to a stop. This tells you that your brakes are functioning. So we're going to runway 28. So with the common traffic advisory frequency, what I've done is I've announced over the frequency that we're leaving the ramp area and taxiing to runway 28. So anybody else on the field monitoring that frequency knows what we're doing. We are fully communicating with everybody, letting everybody knows what's going on with 176 Charlie Mike. And I say 176 Charlie Mike because that is our tail number. I'm probably going a little bit faster, but you should never ever taxi faster than the fast paced walk. So we're slightly above idle, which is 1,000. We want to maintain that yellow center line. What I always say is just when you taxi, just look outside and you want that line under your butt. That line right under your butt. Now at the end of runway 28, we have at the beginning, we have a displaced threshold. We can take off like where the arrows are, but we can't land at that point. And that's probably for noise abatement procedures because you're flying over businesses and homes. And we don't want to rattle anybody's cage, no pun intended. Okay, we're getting towards the end. And normally at most airports they have an area where you can kind of pull off to the side just in case other airplanes want to take off before you while you perform your pre-takeoff checklist. It'll be an area where we can kind of pull off to the side. We always want to point the nose into the wind. So let's just simulate that, pointing our nose into the wind. The 28 there represents, I would let you know that that is runway 28 that you're about to taxi onto. Alright, so this will simulate turning our nose into the wind. Okay. Let's engage our parking brake. Alright, we'll look down and we will visually see that our parking brake is on. Alright, and engage. And after taxi checklist is complete. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to flow through our before takeoff checklist. Our parking brake is set. We saw that. Our flight controls are free and correct. We're moving our flight controls to their full detents to make sure that there is nothing like our legs or knee boards or anything inhibiting the full movement and operation of the controls. So the controls can do what we need them to do when we need them to do it. So flight controls are free and correct. Flight instruments, check and set. Okay, so we'll come into our basic 6 flight instruments. Okay, we have proper indications. We should see 0 airspeed on the airspeed indicator. We could adjust our miniature airplane, but this is good enough for me. All right, because when we accelerate, it's going to drop down a little bit. We are currently, okay, let's come in. You would look at your chart, and you would look at your chart and see that we're supposed to be 128 feet above sea level. All right, so back to the sim. And yeah, that's basically almost 130, or almost somewhere between 130. So yeah, 129 feet. All right, is good there. So our altimeter is good to go. Our turn coordinator is level, and we make sure that this tube is full of fluid. Okay, we are almost pointing in the, we're northwest, almost pointing in the direction of runway 28, and so we're slightly to the left. So we should be looking like 290 or so in the directional gyro, and we are. We're like kind of right, 290 is right there. Okay, so 28 is slightly a little bit to the left. All right, our vertical speed indicator, this would be the 0 indication. So that is good. All right. Fuel selector valve, both. We recheck that it is in the both position, and it is in the both position. All right. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Okay. So what we'll do, I don't know if switches in the lights and switches area, if we can see that a little bit better. So let's kind of zoom back. Yes, we can. All right. So this is the trim. All right, and we have a line in here. If I roll the wheel downward, boom, we want it to line up with this takeoff marker. So at this point, our elevator trim is set for takeoff. Mixture, rich for run up. So we push this all the way in for run up. Autopilot disconnect, there is no autopilot. Well, actually there is in the simulator, and it is disconnected. While I'm here, we said we are going to use 2,000 feet. Right. And autopilot is disengaged. So what we're going to do is we're going to throttle up to about 1,800 RPMs. And I got to move this out of the way. So we want to be right about there with our throttle. So we're going to throttle up. Okay, we're at 1,800. Now at this point, what we're doing is we're paying close attention to the RPM gauge. All right. Now, our ammeter check is, we're going to look and we're going to make sure that we don't have any, we want this basically, we want it at 0. We don't want the battery, charging or discharging. So basically we want this to settle at 0, and it is, and so that's good to go. If we saw some light in the negative range when we're powered up like this, that would be bad. Right. Especially if it kind of dropped up here. So we want it centered. That's what I want to get at. Our engine instruments check and set, which we're kind of looking at. For engine instruments, it's nice. If everything is green, all right. Our vacuum pressure is in the green, which means our vacuum pressure supplying our directional gyro and our attitude indicator is good to go. What else did I want to talk about? Okay. Ammeter, engine instruments, they're green. Suction, check. This will be our vacuum pressure. It's green, so that's good to go. Magnetos. Now, I'm not going to do the magnetos because I have like a button type deal going on here. And if I fling it with the key, it may flip all the way into the off position, which I don't want. But you would go to left, you would see a drop in RPM. You would go to right, back to both, you would see a drop in RPM. So when you go back to both, it comes back up to 1,800. So for instance, let's just say this. All right. If we turn it to the left, we are only using one set of spark plugs, right? So we would get a drop in our RPM indication. So let's say we dropped it, we turned this to the left position, it would drop to 1700. You go back to both, it'll jump back up to 18, where it is now. Then we go to right, it should drop down to 17. And we go back to both, and then it will jump back up to 18. Those are proper indications. You must consult your pilot operating handbook to see what your maximum drops and differentials can be. And Ron, I will let the instructor that you're dealing with explain that to you. So, mags, throttle. Alright, so we bring it down, our throttle down to 600. And then we smoothly bump it up to 1,000. According to the checklist that I'm looking at. Alright, smooth and 600. And then smoothly bring it back up to 1,000 RPMs. Our radios are set and brakes released. Final items before takeoff are doors and windows. We make sure that they're closed. Flaps as required. I'll use 10 degrees of flaps. So we'll come up here, set our flaps to 10 degrees, and mixture is rich below 3,000 feet. Alright, just making sure I'm not missing any other checklist items. It's been years since I've flown the Cessna. Even though I used to be a flight instructor, I'm just making sure. So, lights, when our landing light on, nav lights, strobe lights, because we're about to take off. So everybody can see us. Transponder, we'll go to ALT, which is altitude encoding. And we track our time and all that stuff. Alright. So our climb speed should be about 74 knots. Or hold on, 79 knots actually. So if we're flying it a little bit under 80. And like I said, you will consult your flight manual for the particular operation. This is just a general video, and it's not for all Cessna 172s. And actually, this is a simulation for training purposes only. So this, you can see that our flaps are set to 10 degrees. We're at runway 28, and we're ready to go. Alright, so what we will do is we have to get ourselves repositioned. Let these brakes go. Of course, it's kind of running the grass. And this is a little tight because it's a simulation, but you would keep the aircraft on the asphalt. Now, while we're in this position here, and we're looking at the approach end to the runway, we kind of stop here, and what we do is let that throttle out a little bit. And let's come back to our virtual cockpit. Alright, now what I would be looking for here is any airplanes coming in for landing. Okay? Because we're gonna, this is our last time that we'll have the ability, once we get on the runway and point ourselves in the proper direction, all this will be to our back. So it's just kind of nice to just make sure that there's no emergency landing traffic, and at the same time we will be listening to the landing frequency. So, not the landing frequency, but the common traffic advisory frequency, which is 122.725. Alright, so now, and again, man, these rudder pedals I have, they kind of turn a little bit horrible. Not like the real controls in the airplane. Alright, so we'll get position, and we're ready for takeoff. Our strobes are on, our navigation lights, the green light on the right wingtip, the red light on the left wingtip, and our rotating beacon, our white light on the tail. Okay, so on the frequency, we hit the push to talk button. Crimson traffic. What was our tail number? Okay. November 176 Charlie Mike. Or some people would say Cessna 176 Charlie Mike. You can say November 176 Charlie Mike, or you can say Cessna N is the tail number or the tail prefix for all American-based aircraft. So you can say Cessna or so I'll say Princeton traffic, November 176. Charlie Mike is departing runway 28, Princeton traffic. So before I said Princeton traffic, whether you catch my message on the front end or the back end, you'll know who it's for. Because I say Princeton traffic in the beginning and I say Princeton traffic at the end. So Princeton traffic, November 176, Charlie Mike is departing runway 28, Princeton traffic. All right. Let's get this show on the road, Ron, there. There's Ron. He's going to laugh when he sees the videos today, you know. But I hope you like it, Ron, because I want you to be a confident and safe pilot. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Now, like I said, this is a displaced threshold. We can take off back here, but we cannot land our aircraft. We can't touch down until we get to this point. All right. So back here, we could taxi. We could go taxi in circles. I don't recommend flying on the air runway like that. But I'm just saying, we got our 10 degrees of flap set because we do have obstacles at the end of the runway. And runway 10 at 28. So normally in real life, honestly, I would be positioned like back here because any runway you have behind you is useless. All right, so here we go. Let's get our head back in the plane. Okay, so here we go. Got our basic six flight instruments. Okay, here we go, guys. Throttle full. Airspeed alive. Engine instruments are green. Looking good. 50 knots, 55 knots. Rotate. We gently just raise the nose, and we let the wings aerodynamically take the weight off of the landing gear. And there's no landing gear to retract. We have our flaps extended, so we're getting some really, really good lift out of the airplane. And I'm going to gently just turn the OBS, Omni bearing selector. About 240 will get us to Yardley VOR. I am going to engage the autopilot. And let's get our heading set up. And now, I would climb out a little bit more, but for simulation purposes, I wanted to get our navigation set up. So you would climb up to about 1,200 feet, and we would do an upwind departure. When we get a couple miles away from the airport traffic area, we would just say Princeton traffic, November 1676 Charlie Mike, is departing the area to the west. So every pilot is like, okay, that guy, November 176 Charlie Mike, he is gone. Now, actually, let's look at our chart for a moment. I'm not going to use 20,000 because 2,000, if I'm not mistaken, if we leave Princeton and we fly directly to Yardley VOR, well, I'll go through the communications. Why not? Okay, so we're leaving Princeton. We just made a slight left turn to fly directly to Yardley. And we'll be coming in like on this radial, 060. But if we use 2,000, we have to talk to Trenton Mercer Airport because their class Delta extends up to 2,700 feet. All right, so their tower frequency is 120.7, and I will simulate that. So we will use 2,000 as our transition altitude. And we were going to pick that up anyway as a... Now, one thing I was a little bit remiss about was letting because our climb speed, we want to be closer to 80 knots. So, and flaps up. Clear of all obstacles. Looking good. We have a positive angle of attack. We're in our climb out. Okay, so right now, what I would do, I'm squawking 1200. I would go to that frequency we talked about, 120.7. Alright, and let's see here. I should have had this set up for a housekeeping, but I did not. So this is really not a super big deal. You just don't want to bust Class Bravo airspace. And we said 120, not 127. Okay, Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike, and you will pause. And they would say, November 176 Charlie Mike, this is Trenton Tower. Okay. And they would say Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike, Trenton Tower. And I'd say Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike, we just departed Princeton Airport. We're flying directly to Yardley VOR and then back to Princeton. We'd like to transition to Class Delta. Now the instructor of the tower would listen to that and says, okay, we've communicated our intentions. We said, November 176 Charlie Mike, we just departed Princeton. We'd like to fly directly to Yardley and back. And I don't know if I said 2000, but I'm saying 2000. So Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike, we just departed Princeton Airport, and we would like to fly directly to Yardley and back to Princeton at 2,000 feet. We'd like permission to transition your airspace. And the tower will say, November 176 Charlie Mike, airspace transition is approved. And they would just give us traffic updates because we're on our frequency. Now, the airport is kind of right there. And like I said, we would see it. That is runway 624. Now, a little something going on here. All right, we are floating. Our airplane is right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly to the left a little bit to capture that. And we got a little turn going on. And I don't know if we'll pick up Yardley VOR. So let's look at the DME. We are 6.1 nautical miles from Yardley VOR, and our ground speed is about 120 knots. This is the Delaware River, guys. Airport. This is Washington's Crossing Bridge. I think Thomas is covering it now. This is the 295 to 95 going to Philadelphia, Center City, Philly. You can't really see the Philadelphia skyline at this point. That is Trenton Mercer Airport. So we're here right in line with the airport. So as I'm looking at Trenton Mercer Airport, we're right in line with that runway. So I know that I am right about here. All right, so we're in the Class Delta and we're flying to here. So I can see where the extended center line of the runway is coming here, and we're coming in on a 060 radial. So right here above these power lines. All right, so I definitely specifically know where I'm at. Okay, back to the center. Currently 3.3 nautical miles away. And we are getting that needle back. And at 3 miles and 2,000 feet, I'm not going to chase the needle. We're just going to maintain this heading. I might bump back to 24, but that's all I'm going to do because we'll have the zone of ambiguity, which I will talk about in another video. We are clearly above Pennsylvania right now. That is the Delaware River. New Jersey is on that side. Pennsylvania is on this side. All right, and we have 2.1 miles to go now to Yardley VOR. It'd be nice if we could see the VOR. Those are the fuel caps. That's where the aircraft is loaded. Where the fuel. I'm just trying to see if I can see the VOR. It says we wooded area. It should be near houses. There it is, guys. Oh, wow. Okay. There's the VOR. I found it. Good money. I'm like a 3-year-old in this thing, man. It brings back memories. So this wings out, and we're waiting for station passage. This will flip downward. So it'll be like the triangle pointed in front of us. We're up to the triangle pointed downward. So we're waiting for station passage. And it flipped. Okay, so we're going to fly out a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an 80-260 maneuver. And I'll explain that in the video. So we're going to roll, we're going to reverse our course. So 240 minus 80 is 160. So I'm going to turn to a heading of 160. We roll out on 160. We're going to roll right back to, and I should have cleared left, turned left. Rolling out on 160, and we can clear left right now. There is a Cessna 9.7 miles away from us. Alright, so we're rolling out on 160, and we will gently raise the wing, and we will clear left, and then we will turn, I'm sorry, clear right, and then turn right. So we're going to reverse our course to 060 degrees, and we're keeping our head outside. We're constantly always looking at traffic. A lot of traffic out there. A lot of people flying. Alright, we're still bringing it around to 060 because we wanted to do a full course reversal. And that's what I call the 80-260 maneuver. So we should be pretty much situated when we roll back out on 060 degrees. 2000, we're looking good. And this would actually be in the COM 1 position, but I didn't want the radio chatter interrupting us for the simulation. And, hopefully Ron approves and makes a comment in the comment section. But we'll see. Okay, 060. And we are 2.2 from the VOR. Now, I'm going to come and bring us to a heading of 070. Well, 10 degrees of cut. I could not believe I found that VOR, guys. You know what I'm saying? They used to say Microsoft Flight Simulator is real as it gets. I actually found the navigation station. I'm pumped about that. And the OBS should be rotated. And so what I have is some reverse needle sensing going on here. So we will if we fly 060 and center that needle, we should we should be good, and we should be able to find Princeton using radio navigation. We're still going to be looking out outside of the cockpit for it, but there is Trenton Mercer Airport, and since it was on the left of us on the way out, it should be on the right of us coming back. So that is one navigation truth. 17. We're real close to the Delaware River, so the station it probably is behind us at that point. And it is wrong. We're at 2 now. We were at 1.7. So we're flying away from Yardley, and we're waiting for this to center up. Another thing that we didn't do and we should have did was nav 1. We'll listen to the Morse code. Should have did that before, guys. That's Yardley, so we're good there. That's Morse code. The needle's coming back. We're bringing it back to a heading of 060, and we'll kill it in a minute. And so we were cleared to transition, and we advised the controller of our intentions to go right back to Princeton. So I'll say this, Trenton Tower. Alright, so Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike. We're on the return leg. We like to descend and maintain 1500 in the class Delta. And the tower will probably say November 176 Charlie Mike, Trenton Tower. Descend and maintain 1500. And he knows I'm probably going back to land. And so I want to be pretty close to traffic pattern altitude. And I would also say Trenton Tower, November 176 Charlie Mike. We will not be returning to your airspace. We like the frequency change for airport traffic advisories. And the tower would say November 176 Charlie Mike, frequency change approved. We advise the controller of our intentions. We let them know what we're doing. We're switching frequencies so we could listen to 122725 to what am I trying to say? Just to listen to who's in the pattern before we get there. I actually can see Princeton Airport right here. So, Princeton Airport, Cessna 176 Charlie Mike is 5 to the west. Inbound full stop. Princeton traffic. So I said who I'm talking to before, and I close with who I'm talking with afterwards on a CTAP, or Common Traffic Compliance. So Princeton traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike. Inbound full stop. We're 5 to the northwest. Princeton traffic. Everybody that could be doing, pattern work or on the ground, preparing to take off, they know that an aircraft is coming back full stop. All right. How do I even know what runway we're using or we're making right traffic? We don't at this point. So I can say Princeton Unicom, November 176 Charlie Mike. And the guy at the desk that, keeps the coffee fresh will be like, November 176 Charlie Mike, this is Princeton Unicom, how can I help you? Princeton Unicom, 176 Charlie Mike. We're inbound full stop, we're about 4 to 5 miles out. What is the active runway there today? And they'll say, the active runway is runway 28, 176 Charlie Mike. And I'll say, okay, thank you very much. So now I can start doing my planning. Okay, I'm looking at my chart briefly. I'm coming back here on the 060 radial, so I know I can fly off a little bit to maintain our downwind, base, and final approach leg. If it was right traffic for runway 10, I would fly out here and then fly downwind, base, and final for runway 10. So you kind of got to be thinking ahead of the airplane. But since it is, and we can see the hangars there, and Princeton traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike, 2 miles to the west now. I can say 3 miles to the west now. Inbound full stop Princeton traffic, or inbound full stop for runway 28 Princeton traffic. So everybody knows that I'm out here to the west. They know I will probably be joining downwind. So anybody on the ground, airport enthusiasts, they say, "Oh man, it's a plane, man! Get your binoculars out." Checklist. Our landing light is on. That is our runway. Alright, CC belt, shoulder harnesses adjust. Fuel selector valve is in the both position. Engine gauge is checked. Looks good. Everything looks like a happy airplane. Alright, our directional gyro is aligned with the magnetic compass. Looking good there. Altimeter setting is checked. Radio's checked. And the autopilot is going to be taken off from there. So, alright, Princeton traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike. We'll be entering a downwind for runway 28 full stop. I believe that's the Raritan River. That's pretty blue. Here's our runway. Alright, and I'm going to roll it to 0, 1. And I'm going to pull our power back just to the bottom of the green arm. Traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike, downwind runway 28 full stop, Princeton traffic. Right, and I'm just extending this a little bit, just to get the simulator set up. We don't need our nav radios anymore. We clearly know where our airport is, which we're about to land on it. And what I'm going to do is turn to the right base. And I should have said right downwind. Alright. But I wanted to get our, it's very, very important that we get our flaps in and we don't extend them to the airspeed it hits the white arm. Speed checks. Flaps, airspeed is in the white arc. Alrighty. Bring her around. I set the heading bug there so that I know when we're on the base. Princeton traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike, right base, runway 28 full stop, Princeton traffic. Okay, moved it off. Princeton traffic, November 176 Charlie Mike is final for runway 28 full stop. Princeton traffic. Putting a second out for flaps. Flaps are set. Speed checks. We're already in the white arc. We are slightly high. Normally there's like some stores and there's a Burger King is like over there. Slightly high on the fast gear. Okay. White, red. We want white, red. Beyond glide path. Glide path. I'm going to add a little power. And this kind of sucks. I like, I'd rather be flying in some virtual reality, but as long as we get her down and we don't land before the threshold. Could have done this in virtual reality, but the pixelation is kind of off, and it's a much smaller screen. clear. Princeton traffic, November 176, Charlie Mike is clear. Runway 28, Princeton traffic. This lets everybody know, anybody that might be on the final approach, that we're clear the runway, and they have it. It's theirs. They can land. Okay, after landing check, lights off. So at this point, check our lights out. Okay, we don't need our landing light. It's up to you if you want to put a taxi light on. Strobes, we don't need either. So your beacon will stay on. Your nav lights, you can kill them if you want. It's up to you. So our taxi lights and our beacon is going to stay on. All right. Transponder, we're landing. We'll switch that to the off position. And mixture and flaps. Mixture as required, flaps up. We'll come back to our virtual cockpit, and we will visually check that our flaps are up, and they are. And we're good to go. And we'll come back to our parking area. Very, very squirrely. So what I would do is I would kind of get it off to the side here of our original position where we were at. Because we will physically push this plane back in the position, so boom. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll engage our parking brake for right now. Our parking brake is engaged and engines shut down. Throttle is in idle position. Mags, some people ground check them. I don't deal with them. But throttle 1000, avionics, master in the off position. So we can see that the radios and stuff are all off. So the avionics power is off. Mixture idle. Okay. And you would look outside and make sure that the propeller was stopped. Mixture idle cutoff. Master switch off. Keys. Alright, this is a little tricky. That's why I didn't play with this with the magnetos. And you would pull the key out and you will put it on the dash or the glare shield. Why do we do that? Because when I am in front of this aircraft, alright, let me come back to the outside. When I'm in front of this aircraft, pushing it back, outside lock spot, okay. When I'm in front of this aircraft pushing it back, we put the keys on the glare shield because I am going to be very, very, very close to this propeller. Alright, and if as I'm putting my hands right here and here, or even if I'm not there, because some people do that, it is better to press on the struts and push back and to roll the aircraft back into position. Alright, so as we be pushing this airplane back by the struts, okay, if the keys are right here, I can physically see them, and I know that that airplane is not going to be started. Okay, and typically we push the landing gear back just to the asphalt. Right about there is good, and then you would have your wing tie downs. And basically what I could do is I could push down on the tail and just wiggle it till it's pretty much straighter. It is not purely perpendicular right now at this point and stuff. So Ron, I hope you like this video, man. It really takes a lot to put one of these videos together, as I am a pilot and I know what to do with flying. Just video editing and all that stuff, it's really just crazy, and it does take a lot. But I'm honored to do this video for you, man. You're a longtime friend of mine, and if you ever have a question about anything in aviation, I will always be there for you, sir. So for all my other subscribers, anybody flying out of 39 November Princeton Airport, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. Every Friday night from 9 to 11, you can meet me on YouTube. I answer military aptitude test prep questions, ASVAB, SIFT, AFOQT, OAR, and all FAA test prep questions from private pilot to airline transport pilot, even the ground school and flight instructor ratings, multi-engine as well. I've obtained every one of those licenses, and so I'd like to think I know a little something about it. So this is Kieno with STEMWithKieno.com. I thank you guys for watching, and this video was a little long, but it was for Ron, and so really it's specifically for him. But if you guys can get something out of it, then hey, great. So Ron, I'll see you soon, and everybody else have a great day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.